Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me f***ed up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just...
What's happening, everybody? Welcome. We are Gate 7 International, your number one English source for all things Olympiacos and the international home for the red and white legend. We're back. Happy New Year to everybody. 2022 has begun. It's the first episode of the new year. My name's Costa Levoyanis. I'm joined today by Costa with a K, Costa Lianos. How's it going, Costa?
Everything's great. I would like to thank Moderna for providing the Wi-Fi today, as you had your booster shot today. Cheers for that, man. You're saving us a lot of money. Today. Really appreciate it. Taking one for the team right there.
Go and get vaccinated, guys. Seriously. I know in Greece a lot of people, some fans quite skeptical, but a lot of Olympiacos fans did the vaccination purely and simply so that they could go to the stadium. But no, seriously, guys, go and get your boosters. I got mine today. I did Pfizer the first 2 times. Today they asked me, do you want to do one or the other? I was like, whatever, and said, oh, go and do Moderna. I was like, why should I do Moderna? So, oh, because the immunization rate's better if you do a different one. It's like, okay, whatever. I'll see you when I do the 4th one. But yeah, that's out of the way now.
Get vaccinated, guys. Get it over with.
Get it over with, indeed. All right, well, that issue aside, we've got a game tomorrow. Finally, it feels like we haven't had a game for such a long time.
Yeah, and Olympiacos have a game tomorrow because, as we know, the Greek league is so exciting these days. I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to climb up to the top. You don't know who's going to win the league as well this season. It's just so close with Olympiacos and that's where you jump in, Costa. That's where you. This is where you bail me out. Okay. Who's our rival? Who's the rival these days? Who's the Olympiacos rival? Who's the big rival these days?
Ourselves and COVID.
But Europe. Preparing for Europe.
Sarcasm aside, yeah, we are 11 points clear at the top of the table. I can't see how the other teams can turn it around. Still games to play, of course, and it's not over until it's over. But 11 points clear, we're sailing, we're cruising. It does feel like it's been a while since we've had a game. As poor as the standard of the Greek league can be, I'm happy that we're going to see the red and white finally again after what seems like, I think it's only been a week or 10 days, but it feels like just too long a time without an Olympiacos game. So excited to see the team again tomorrow. If you are joining for the first time, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well to always get your updates on anything that has to do with Olympiacos. We are the number one English source following the team, providing updates for Olympiacos fans all over the world, Greece included. So hit that subscribe button if you'd like to support us. Now, Costa, interesting squad list that came out for tomorrow's game against Apollon Smyrnis. I'm going to bring it up on screen.
Yeah.
So Vaclav Christensen, Zolakis in goal. No surprises there, but
that's the only normal part of the squad.
And the forwards, perhaps, El Arabi, Tiquinho. But then we know that there have been four cases of players that tested positive for COVID when the players went through their last run of tests ahead of tomorrow's game. We know that Apollon Smyrnis has also been suffering, and there's even been some rumours about the game being called off tomorrow. But yeah, you can see there that Socrates is missing. Lala is missing, Androutsos is missing, and the other one is Lopez. Ronnie Lopez is missing, and we've got a lot of B team players coming in. Kitsos, exciting winger that Pedro Martins has been rumored to want to develop into in the next Tsimikas. We've read that in the Greek press. Don't know about that.
They love
Nikolic.
the Greek press loves throwing the whole next this, next that. Just ignore it. Just ignore this thing.
We've got Nikolic. We've got Bagalianis, who I've been quite impressed with whenever I watched B team games. And Manolas is in the team tomorrow as well. He's in the squad list.
First call up since his return.
Exactly. And Karbovnik.
Yeah,
Karbovnik's there too, Costa.
Well, very glad to see
I thought he was. Is he? He's still alive. He's still alive.
Not injured, it seems. Not injured. It's good that he's there. I don't expect Manolas to get involved, though, if I'm being honest. Maybe from the bench, if the game is, if the score is convenient, maybe just come on, just, get it going. I don't think, I wouldn't bet money on that.
So what do you got tomorrow?
What out of this?
Yeah.
Well, what is Pedro Martin's preferred system? Is it going to be a 4-3-3? Shall we go with 4-3-3 on this one?
That's a good question, Costa, because he could go with that 4-3-3 with Mvila, Bouchalakis and Kamara in midfield that he likes so much, which I really despise seeing in the Greek league personally. I do like to play with a traditional number 10, but that is one option. More curious at the back what his pairing is going to be, because Rabchuk's got one flank and then probably Karbovnik on the right. I'd be surprised if it's not Karbovnik, and then probably Avram and Ba is my guess tomorrow.
That could happen. I don't see it being a 3-4-3 because he doesn't really have enough players for the back three. So it's going to be Vatslik in goal. Then Karbovnik and Reabchuk at fullback. You took the image down. Could you get it back up? Oh yeah, there you go. Good man. So Vatslik in goal, Karbovnik, Reabchuk at fullback, but center back. Is he going to go for Avram, or is he actually going to throw Manolas at the deep end? He's not. I think it's going to be Avram or a youngster.
So he said in an interview the other day that he was very happy with the physical condition of Manolas and Lovera, that they were lacking match fitness. I mean, it's Apollon Smyrnis. No disrespect, but I think Manolas can hack a game against Apollon Smyrnis and start building up some fitness. But I also know that Pedro Martins has a lot of faith in Avram Papadopoulos. I wouldn't be surprised to see him play next to Ba tomorrow.
Yeah, but you don't want to risk him getting injured. You don't want to risk Manolas. That's what's really important about match fitness. Not just about can you play against a team like Apollon Smyrnis. It's like, can you not get injured against a team like Apollon Smyrnis? And the Greek league, it's no Premier League, but in the Greek league, everyone loves an extra little kick that doesn't find the ball. So yeah, let's go Avram and Ba. So that's our back four. Madi, Bouchalakis, and Mvila, do we agree in midfield?
I have a feeling that's what we're going to see, though I'd like to see Valbuena at the 10. I know some of our guys are on the chat there. They're saying that. Erythrolevki Mastura, Kalichronia, my friends. My prediction is Valbuena at the 10. I just think that 4-3-3 has not got enough creativity, man. And Valbuena's looked pretty decent the last couple of games he's come on. So I'd quite like to see a 4-2-3-1. And then the wings is interesting as well, because you've got Vrusai essentially tomorrow. No Onyekuru, no Rodriguez. And you've got Masouras, of course. Masouras has got one wing. And then who's going to take the other one? Will it be Vrusai? Will it be Valbuena? And then the other three we mentioned in the midfield, Kamara, Bouchalakis, and Mvila. Or will he play 4-4-2? Or will he play 4-4-2, Costa? You can't.
4-4-2 with both of his attackers, though. That's a bit risky. I mean, that's the thing. Martins will need an impact player from the bench, and that's why Valbuena, in my opinion, is not going to start. Maybe he's going to start with Masouras on one wing, and Al Ghassim or Vrusai on the other one, and then Arabi leading the line is what I'm thinking. I think Valbuena is going to be on the bench because he's going to need that probable impact player coming off the bench because he doesn't have anyone else to play that role, really, does he? Except for Tiquinho.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. I don't really like it when he starts the 4-4-2. I think he should keep a striker on the bench and have that option to bring him on later. So, best guess is probably El Arabi starts tomorrow up front. But okay, I mean, it's a game against Apollon Smyrnis. It's a game that we should be winning no matter what. There are some other very interesting things going on in and around the club. Of course, the transfer window opened officially on the 1st of January. We'd already signed Manolas before, but I think one of the biggest discussions that is being had right now is about Youssef El Arabi and his contract and whether he will renew it or not. So he is now able to speak to other clubs if he wants to sign a pre-contract. His contract ends the end of June 2022. He will turn 35 in February. There's big discussion going on about his age. Should he be earning a 2 million euro contract, which is what he is on now? The talk is that Olympiacos is offering him a new 2-year closed contract to see out his career, to end his career at Olympiacos with a little less money than what he's on now. Now, before we actually ask the question, should we be paying Youssef El Arabi 2 million euro a year for the next 2 years at age 35? I just want to run through the numbers and remind the people what we're talking about here. So, Youssef El Arabi has played 126 games in all competitions for Olympiacos. He scored 69 goals. He's our leading goal scorer of all time in European competitions. That's 16 goals in Europe. I think Mitroglou had 15. 3 goals in the Champions League, 8 goals in the Europa League, 2 this season, 1 from the penalty spot against Frankfurt in an insignificant game we lost away from home, and a goal that he scored against Antwerp at home this season. Costa, what you got?
Well, first of all, Olympiacos fans should be really pleased and grateful that Markus Berg never came to Olympiacos. Markus Berg was El Arabi came over in 2019, was it? 2019, wasn't it? 2019, summer of 2019. At that time, Markus Berg was Olympiacos' top target to lead the line. And Olympiacos made Berg the best offer by far, better than any other suitors. But Berg didn't want to join because Berg is Panatha. Berg loves Panathinaikos, and he felt like joining Olympiacos would be a spin in the face towards the Panathinaikos fans, who also got very nervous, and they actually, Thira Dekatria, Gate 13, did issue a statement urging Berg not to go to Olympiacos. It seemed like it was very, very close. And he didn't want to join. So what he waited out for at least an offer that's almost as good as Olympiacos, and came at close to the 11th hour by Krasnodar. It is a very good thing Markus Berg didn't join Olympiacos because he didn't want to be at Olympiacos. He was a Panathinaikos fan. It wouldn't have worked. He wouldn't be able to learn to love this team, and that would probably show on the pitch. And some crazy Olympiacos fans would feel like he's not here to play. He's a Panathinaikos player. He doesn't want to be here. Get him out. It would have been a very toxic situation. And El Arabi was number 2. He was the number 2 choice. And it looks like he should have been plan A all this time. Excellent transfer. El Arabi, in my opinion, is already an Olympiacos legend. And I think he cemented his status as an Olympiacos legend after that unforgettable goal against Arsenal at the Emirates, which will live in infamy, and it's sealed one of the greatest victories of a Greek team in Europe ever. But that was then, and this is now. This is a 35-year-old Youssef El Arabi who has given a lot for Olympiacos. he can still go, definitely can still go. But Olympiacos are not a Premier League team, which means that the budget needs to be a little tighter, and we don't know what's next year's going to be like. Are they actually going to make it to the Champions League? Can they actually pull off an upset against Atalanta and earn even more money from Europe? What I do know about the whole El Arabi saga is that he wants to stay at Olympiacos. There is a lot of intent from his side to stay and finish his career at Olympiacos. And that shows from the fact that he's received a lot of offers from the Middle East, which at present he is brushing aside for now until he figures things out with Olympiacos, who are the priority for him right now. As far as I understand, Olympiacos are not willing to pay that much money. So they're looking for a compromise on that department. So there's a very positive feeling. There's a feeling of confidence, but it seems like if he does stay, there's gonna be a compromise. That's what I know. What do you got?
I think that there are a number of factors at play here. I think one of the most important things is the Atalanta game. I think that right now El Arabi is in a position of power, but it's kind of a slippery slope. What do I mean by that? He's saying, I want the same money. I want 2 million for the next 2 years because I've been one of the best, one of the best players of this team. He's the best player in Greece. Let's just say it. He's the best player in the Greek Super League. I think he deserves to be the highest paid player in the league. To win the Greek league, you need a top striker and a top keeper, mainly. So, that's kind of the framing. Now, if El Arabi ends up being a critical player in the Atalanta games, say, he scores 2 or 3 goals against Atalanta, 1 away, 2 at home, and, we have this glorious, progression to the next round. I want my money. I ask for more. But if he doesn't, then again, maybe he's not going to get that 2 million. So it's a difficult one at age 35. We've talked about his performances on the field, and sometimes his hold up play, his link up play hasn't been up to par, or at least what we've been used to the last couple of years. But one thing I think we haven't talked about enough is that he maybe hasn't been getting as good a service as he used to. Yeah. If you look at Valbuena's stats, the first season he joined, I was looking at this today randomly. Valbuena had more than 20 assists in his first season, and I guarantee you, I don't know this off the top of my head, I can guarantee you more than half of those assists were for El Arabi goals. How many times did we see a cross come in from Valbuena on the left, on the right, and, El Arabi header or El Arabi tap in? How many times did we see that the first season? And this year, we've seen it in all the analysis, in all the stats that we've seen from Opta, the Gesaris Opta stats that they put out on Sport24, the own analysis that we did, that we posted on our Instagram. We're creating less chances than we were last season, not to mention the first season that he joined. So he's not getting the service. But I will say this. When we were rumoured to sign Tiquinho, before we signed him, I thought, they're getting this guy in. Tiquinho is a top player. I know he went to China, but at Porto, he was banging the goals in. He was a top striker worth 7 or 8 million, I think, in terms of value. We would never sign him, never be signing this type of player if he wasn't free and if Martins didn't know him from back in Portugal. Would not be able to sign this player. So I thought, we're getting Tiquinho because Tiquinho is going to be the number 1 striker next season, 2022-2023 season. I'm not convinced we should be paying 2 million. Some people on Instagram, they've commented, I'll give him 1.5 and 500k if he scores 20 goals, those kind of performance bonuses. I'm on the fence, mate. Really, I'm on the fence. What about you?
Well, I mean, the counterpoint to everything, to all the amazing points you made would be that, well, there's Tiquinho. The manager's going to say, well, we do have somebody to fill in for you if you do leave. Uh, and also, the Europa League group was tough, but it wasn't that tough. I've said it before on the show that I feel like Olympiacos overestimated Fenerbahce. Uh, and El Arabi was not really the kind of player that gave you a few extra against those opponents. He wasn't really the kind of guy that would, have the Cristiano Ronaldo kind of role at Manchester United. When everything just goes wrong, they just, take the ball, take the team by the hand and just guide them to the 3 points. He is definitely at the twilight of his career. He has done a lot for Olympiacos. Olympiacos have a lot to be grateful for him, and I think he deserves a strong last contract with them. But if he truly wants to give one more thing back, he's going to agree to a compromise. And I think that's the best way of doing it. Either a compromise or, everyone just moves on. He's going to find a great offer from the Middle East, and he doesn't mind playing in the Middle East because he previously said that he loved playing in Saudi Arabia, was it? Or
Qatar.
I don't remember. Qatar, excuse me. He loved playing there because it brings him closer to his religion. So, like, both sides are going to be just fine. You said it. You made a great point. El Arabi is the kind of player that needs to have a good cross, a good pass in. He's a Kostas Mitroglou, Darko Kovacevic kind of striker. He's not a Giovanni who's going to take the ball and do amazing things and just, decide himself what he's going to do. Improvise. He doesn't improvise.
He can create for himself. He can create for himself. He's better than Tiquinho at doing that. You remember the goal against Omonia last season in the qualifiers, or like the goal against Tottenham. So I mean, he is a fox in the box type of player, but he's also like pretty good with the ball at his feet, or like way above average, even compared to Kovacevic. Mitroglou was quite good with the ball at his feet, like at his peak. But yeah, he definitely needs the service, and he hasn't been getting it. There's no Fortunis. Valbuena's not playing as much this season. We know that it's been pretty drab this season in terms of creativity. We haven't been particularly easy on the eye. For more simple English, we haven't been really nice to watch this season in terms of performance, and I think that's also affected El Arabi. Lots of comments coming into the chat. Andreas Eladara, thanks for pointing out, mate. 3 goals this season in the Europa League. Yeah, the ones against Eintracht were insignificant in the end. There was the goal at home against Eintracht after the Onyekuru cutback, the only assist he's had all season. That was a nice goal. He is a terrific overall striker, but the wage bill is another issue. It's a broader issue. It's the first time I remember us having such a wage bill. You look at players like Kunde and Onyekuru, who aren't really giving us anything right now. Let's just call it what it is. Karbovnik, we're paying his salary. He's not playing. There are lots of examples. Semedo, we'll talk about Semedo in a little bit. Manolas is on a big contract. Socrates is on a big contract. Mvila's on a big contract. You look around the team, like it's pretty hefty.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm covering Chelsea at the moment, and Chelsea have this rule that once you become 30, you only get a 1-year extension. That's the big pickle now with Cesar Azpilicueta, another player who's given Chelsea a lot. He's won 2 Champions Leagues with them. And there's a reason why this happens. It's because, a 30-plus-year-old can take you so far. The way I see it, if El Arabi does sign a new contract, I can see him having the Chori Dominguez kind of role. After Fortunis arrived, Chori Dominguez went to the bench, and he came on as an impact player where he scored big goals like the one against Malme. I can see him being something like that afterwards, like a Mathieu Valbuena kind of character, kind of role after that. Tiquinho, it was definitely someone that was brought in to become the El Arabi replacement, and he can be the El Arabi replacement. We're seeing a lot of good elements out of him. But I guess, in conclusion, I think regardless of what happens with El Arabi, Olympiacos need to bring in another striker in the summer. Definitely bring in another striker.
So the question is, though, like, I agree with you, first of all. But the question is, do you pay 2 million salary to a player that's coming off the bench? Or have they had that conversation in terms of his role? But I mean, we can go on forever. And I think you've said it and people in the chat have said it, that we're looking at, hopefully, the club and the player coming to a compromise. I've read as well that his family's very happy in Greece. He's even looking to try and secure a future role in the club. And maybe that's part of the discussion in terms of a non-playing role for him. I do hope in the end that he does renew his contract. I think particularly for Greece, he's an absolute luxury. I think if Olympiacos wants to be playing Champions League football, which is really starting to get beyond us, I feel, looking at the level of the Greek league, then I think we need to think about something different. Tiquinho, is Tiquinho the answer? I don't know. But what we should remember about Tiquinho is that Tiquinho's arrived at the club having not played for about 6 months. So it's going to take a good season for him to really find his form again. He has scored goals. I think he's already scored more than 10 goals for us this season. So he could be a different prospect for us next season. And it could end up being what you said, Costa, El Arabi having that Troy Dominguez role and Tiquinho being the starter. And then who knows, maybe Al Ghassim Bar explodes and turns into, what everyone's been thinking and hoping about him. He's been injured for the last few B team games, so we haven't seen a lot of him yet. But speculation, there aren't any talks about us signing a striker right now in terms of transfer window. The focus is renewing El Arabi's contract. Now, I want to move on to another topic. Ruben Semedo has made the news again for the wrong reasons again. Truth or lies, that's not for us to decide. I mean, I'll say this. It's been nothing but bad news since he wasn't called up for the Euro. And it's been a constant downhill spiral ever since. And even before that, there were some behavioral questions. We know that he went to COVID parties in early 2020 with Rajelovic and Bruno. We've talked about that and had a giggle about that on the podcast previously. Then there was the Ludogorets game, the own goal, then being left out the team, the rape accusations, which he was cleared of, and now this out of nowhere, accusations from his wife of assault, which were then retracted. His wife changed the story. They said he was in prison and then he was sending videos from his house. We're just talking about Semedo too much off the pitch. That's the bottom line. We're talking about Semedo off the pitch for more than I can care to remember. And he was, for me, one of the best centre-backs I think we've ever had. That first season, he was incredible. But it's gone downhill and it's time to go. Who wins from all of these rumours? Definitely not Olympiacos. Who leaked this news? Why did they leak it? Who benefits? We're trying to sell him to Porto. We apparently rejected a bid today. And then the news came out. Like, what's going on? Like, Costa, help me out here.
I don't know if I can help, actually. When I wrote my debut blog post for Gate 7 International, I finished with a little PS note that it was close to the end of the summer transfer window, and I urged the club to get rid of Semedo and bring in Dimitris Siovas. As just do that. Just pull off the Band-Aid. Bring in Siovas, who's going to cost you a lot less money, but can still give you a lot of things on the pitch, and just end it there. You know what? Olympiacos are not how do I say this without offending anyone? Olympiacos are not a Premier League tier team, but they are still a very respectable club and a club that takes itself extremely seriously. I once spoke with a former football youth player that played at Olympiacos. I met him on the plane on my way to London with a British Airways flight. And he told me that when they were bringing them up, they always told them, we don't lose. We never lose. We don't even talk about losing. That's a serious club that only wants to succeed, and they want their players to honor the badge, whether they're wearing it or not, inside or outside of the pitch. I have to question Ruben Semedo's professionalism with what happened in the summer. You just got omitted from the squad, from the first team squad, and you're still on your way towards a huge transfer despite your past troubles. You're on your way to Portugal, to the biggest club in Portugal. You're almost there. You almost went to Wolves, but it didn't happen because of visa issues. That's the only reason why you didn't go to the Premier League. And instead of just sitting back, keeping a low profile, this happened. There were so many ways this could have been avoided. I have to question his professionalism. As far as I'm concerned, just rip off the Band-Aid, let him go, and just move on. Are you desperate for another center back? Bring on Kinkue from the B team. Are you desperate for a center back? Work harder on Manolas. Are you desperate for a center back? Bring Siovas in. In my opinion, Siovas was approached by PAOK, Panathinaikos, AEK, and Olympiacos after he became a free agent. The reason he's a free agent, in my opinion, is because he's waiting on Olympiacos to bring him in. And I think that's going to happen in the summer. If you ask me, I think it's going to happen in the summer. Well, make it quicker. Bring him on. Bring him on if you're desperate. Just end it. And Semedo, it's over as far as I'm concerned.
Pretty clear. We have a guest waiting to join us.
Bring him on.
Hi, guys.
Hello, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Hi.
Vitas. Hey, man. How are you doing? Where are you calling from? What's your name?
I'm calling from London.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Brentford.
Oh, there you go.
In the Premiership now. And been a fan since I can remember, of Olympiacos. Greek grandfather, that's enough. And I was off. And just to what you were saying about Ruben Semedo, I often chat with Benfica fans backwards and forwards for years. And I grew up with a lot of Benfica fans around the area. And they warned me about him before he came. They said, this guy's talented. He can definitely help, but he's going to cause you trouble at some point. And it seems they were right. And the minute I told them about the problems, they said there'll be more. Just wait. This is just the beginning. This is the first interaction with the police. There'll be more. And I agree with what you said. I think he's massively talented. I think he's one of the best CBs we've had that I've seen. I think he lost his motivation a bit towards the end. I think there was a failed transfer that he was kind of up for, but it didn't work out. But now I think I agree. I think we have to cut the cord with this player.
So what did you say your name was?
Vitas.
Vitas.
Vitas,
Mate,
yeah.
It's wonderful to have somebody calling in from the UK.
Our neck of the woods.
Most of everyone knows that I'm born in the UK, out of London. So, yeah, it's nice to have someone from the UK calling. Mate, I mean, yeah, cut the cords. The question is, how much are you going to get for him now? And we knew that he was trouble when we signed him. He wouldn't come to Greece otherwise if he wasn't trouble. We knew that from day one. Guys coming with baggage. But, we are that kind of club that offers opportunities to players that are kind of, in decline, looking to bounce back. And I think he did in that first season. I remember a couple of games I saw him live as well at the Karaiskaki, one of the first games I saw him against Vitoria Plitzen, which was a decent team in the season before. I think they went quite far in Europe. He would aprospelastos, how you say in Greek. You just couldn't get past him. It was an absolute brick wall.
Yeah.
Aprospelastos. I can't think of a better word to describe how he was in that first season. And yeah, he lost motivation, and yeah, he could have made a transfer to Benfica when the manager Jesus was still there and he wanted him. But that didn't happen. But you got a new contract, got more money. So all right, what motivates you? I don't know. The guy's is a problem child. He's a problem child, and yeah, I'm not surprised your mates from Portugal said what they said. What do you think about the El Arabi situation?
It's I only just came in about 5 minutes before, and I caught the end of that whole debate, and I agree. I think he's at that age, and in true Greek fashion, we have an older player who's like the spine of the team in a way, holding everything together, and we're trying to balance youth and experience, and he just looks like he can keep going. So I'm happy to keep him and give him what if his demands are fairly reasonable, to keep him on. And I think there's an agreement coming anyway. I don't think it's going to be difficult for him to stay now. And I think we're okay with 2 strikers, and we can rotate between the 2, and maybe bring someone else in case there's injuries because of Europe. But yeah, I'm happy for him to stay, and I think he's worth every penny. I mean, I think he's been the best striker for the last few years in Greece by a mile. Right. Yeah.
The question is the budget, though. The question is the budget on this one, because Olympiacos didn't make it through to the Champions League this season, and the bar has been raised so high up. Teams like Olympiacos will find it really hard to compete against Champions League teams, even if they make it through. It's not like the 90s or the 2000s anymore. It's just a different league. I mean, you see Olympiacos struggling in the Europa League as well. I hope it's not going to come to a point where the Greek champion will have to will only get to go to the conference. But this is it. It's the budget. How much can Olympiacos justify this sort of fee to El Arabi? And you can have other players coming in saying, hey, I want that much money. If Madi Camara turns it around and starts, breathing fire again like he did in his first 2 years, he's going to say, hey, he's making that much money. Where's my pay? You can have your Fortunis if he comes back and does the same thing. Agibu Camara if he stays on as well. So many factors in this, but like I said, El Arabi does wants to stay at Olympiacos. He does wants to talk, and he did push away. He is postponing the offers he's getting from the Middle East currently, but they're there.
Indeed. Friend of yours says hello, Vitas. Kostas Papadimitriou, hello, brother Vitas. Honor moderator in our group, Olympiacos Gemia Zoe, an Olympiacos fanatic supporter. Kostas Papadimitriou, if you're still following, why don't you show your face as well, mate? We can speak Greek as well, Costa, if you're
come
shy
on
with
on.
your English.
Come on in. Vitas,
Costa
I got a question for you. Who's your all-time favorite?
Costa has been a big supporter of our initiative. Yes, indeed. Costa Papadimitriou, if you're around, get your ass on. We can switch to Greek as well. Vitas, nice to meet you, mate.
One question before he leaves. I'm just curious. Vitas, who is your all-time favorite Olympiacos player?
It has to be Giovanni.
My guy.
For years on the internet, I just had my name as Gio, just because everyone knew me as Gio. They thought that was my actual name. But yeah, he's the one for me. Even now, such a stand-up guy. I follow him on social media, and yeah, love him.
He looks fitter now than he was when he was playing.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few Brazilian players now that if you follow them on Instagram, some of them they're in their 50s, and they're so ripped. And I spent last year in Brazil because I was trapped there because of COVID with my wife. I couldn't come back, and the Brazilians really look after themselves when they get older. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, they hit the gym more than the younger guys, a lot of them. And yeah.
We spoke with Peter Filipakos, former player of the team, a while ago, and I remember we were talking about diet and what the footballers were eating back then, and I remember him saying, Rivaldo, fish every day, only fish, like fish salad every day.
It's
anyway.
Yeah.
Go and check out that interview. If any of you new subscribers, if you guys haven't watched the interview with Peter Olympiacos, great content, fantastic guy, very talkative, like very open. Go and check out that interview. It's really good. Vitas, thanks a lot, mate. Hope to see you next time.
Take care, guys.
Bro.
Yas Fila. Wonderful.
Always good to have fans over.
Indeed. What else have we got? Some, off the mill transfer news. Like, what else have we got? Left back, still looking for a left back.
I wrote an entire column about that, didn't I? About the fullbacks. It's just such a shame because Olympiacos in the 2019-2020 season, they looked every opponent in the eye. They could take everyone on. Yeah, they lost to Bayern. Yeah, they lost to Tottenham in London, but they did give them a hard time, especially Bayern at home, and especially both of them at home, and Tottenham as well away. They knew how to look at an opponent in the eye, and much of it was depended on the fullbacks. Much of it depended on Omar and Tsimikas, and it's such a shame that Olympiacos didn't pay extra to have Omar stay at least. Tsimikas had to go. Tsimikas had to go. You can't just stand in his way on that. And you can see how good he is right now. And in my opinion, Tsimikas should leave Liverpool, not because he's not good enough or he's not going to get enough opportunities, but because there's no way he's going to push Andy Robertson away. Andy Robertson's simply better than Tsimikas because he's one of the best left backs in the world, maybe the best in the world. You know what? He might be the best in the world. You're not going to push Andy Robertson away, but you can make it to the starting lineup of many other top clubs in Europe. So in my opinion, he should seriously consider leaving.
Big question. We all love Kostas Tsimikas. I tend to agree with you. Like, I love that he plays for Liverpool. Like, I have despite the pain that they caused me, I was at that 3-1 game.
Yeah.
When that second half, that Gerrard goal, can't remember what year it was. Not the point.
2004, 2005.
2004, wasn't it?
They won it that season.
I have a soft spot for Liverpool, so I love it when Tsimikas is playing for them. But I agree, he could walk into. I mean, Luke Shaw had a great Euro, but Tsimikas is arguably a top 5 left back in the Premier League right now. He could walk into most Premier League teams. I'd love to see him stay in England. I wouldn't like to see him, like, I don't know, go to Italy. Like, there's just something about the Premier League. Like, the Premier League's the best league in the world. You want him to stay there. Anyway, Tsimikas isn't going anywhere. He's going to be at Liverpool this season. Maybe they'll, whatever, we can talk about that in the summer again. Oleg Rebchuk is attracting some interest.
Mm-hmm.
He's been one of our best players this year, and apparently Eintracht Frankfurt are interested in him. I doubt we're going to sell, but the rumours about the left back, what is it? The Irakli Azarovi that we were looking at, this Georgian player. He's moving to Trabzonspor, so he's off the list now. There was Hassan Kamara from Stade Rennes. He's going to Watford. Zagaritis has been talked about. We talked about that one before. Decent player. I liked him when I saw him play against us at Karaiskaki last year in particular. I remember he had a very good performance. Gone to Parma, played 2 games, lost. Now looking for a way back. Panathinaikos rumoured to be interested in re-signing him as well. They don't have the money. I don't know. What do you think about that, Costa? Zagaritis. Bearing in mind, we also have Kutris, like a certain Kutris out on loan.
I was about to say Zagaritis is an interesting talent, but he doesn't play much at Parma. And the thing is, here comes, the whole Greek national team debate, in the sense that there are not a lot of players who have experience from top-level football. The best what is top-level football? It is the top 5, Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Liga, Champions League, Europa League. That's top-level football right there. And I think I think Zagharitis doesn't have enough of it, and he doesn't play for Parma. I would much rather give Leonardo Kutris a second chance, because he does play for Fortuna Düsseldorf. He hasn't established himself as a key player there, but he does get a lot more opportunities. And let's not forget that in the 2018-2019 season, Kutris played ahead of Tsimikas. He sent Tsimikas to the bench. It was the next season where Tsimikas took his regained the place. There's a lot of talent in there. I don't expect him to be as good as he was beforehand because he had some serious injuries, but he definitely deserves another shot. I mean, if Yannis Fetfadzidis gets a second shot at Olympiacos, surely Leonardo Kutris gets one as well. I'll be much more interested in bringing him back. I'm not too sure what the loan deal is, because loan deals can be a little tricky. I just did an exclusive about Nottingham Forest with Jed Spence. You know, Nottingham Forest had to make a new loan deal to make sure he's not going to go back to Borough, to Middlesbrough mid-season. But if there's a way, just, bring him in, or, seriously consider bringing him back in the summer. Definitely want to see what he. I don't think the last chapter of his career has been written, not even close.
Let's see what Coach Martins has to say about that. Also, another one that's in talks for a new contract. Apparently, we can make a whole new episode on this, but we weren't. I think a few months ago we weren't really expecting that he would be in this kind of situation. We expected him to leave. He may still leave. But anyway, we have another guest joining. I think you're familiar with this guy. Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Wait, who's that guy? Yeah, I've met him somewhere.
I just wanted to stop by. Yeah, I don't know. I was listening to the conversation. I think it's good stuff. I also have to do some work stuff, so I'm in and out. But I don't know, guys. I'm excited for tomorrow's game. I'll just start off random because I'm just jumping in. I'm excited for tomorrow's game. Like this COVID squad list is actually quite hype. I'm kind of excited, so we'll see. But whatever you guys are talking about, I'm happy to talk about it.
Just throw things, man. Just start to
Okay, so I think we were talking about transfers, right? Are we talking about a left back? Is that what we were talking about? Or
that's what we're talking. That's
pretty
what
much
the
the
rumor
only
mill has it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Zagadis
just
go get him. Why not? Like, you know what I mean? Why not? He seems cheap, right? How much would it be? 500,000 euros or something? Like,
he doesn't have a lot of experience, though.
Yeah, but screw it. He'll be backup left back. Like what? I don't know.
Don't worry.
And he's Greek, registration problems. I don't know. It just seems easy enough, no? But what do I know? I don't know.
You know a lot, Labro. So start dropping some knowledge here. Start dropping some knowledge here.
But again, fuck's sake, I wanted, so the transfer window opens. Hell yeah, let's go, baby. Here come the transfers. Nothing on a number 10. Like, this team needs a 10 so bad, a creative midfielder, and it's like, nope, nothing. Like, not even Clement Grenier and his broken legs are linked. I just want I don't know, Remy Cabella, is there anyone? I don't know.
Well, go ahead, Costa.
No, I was talking to Nikos Dabizas the other day. We had a lovely conversation about Newcastle for the Sun, and basically what he said about the January transfer window is that it's not the window to build your squad. This is the window where you make tweaks. You just you have just bits and bobs. You're not going to find your ultimate player because nobody sells their best players mid-season. And if they do not sell. They're not willing to let them go cheap. So there's not much Olympiacos can do about this, but they have so much quality that once they manage to click, that group of quality players, when they manage to click, they can do amazing things. And I do hope there's going to be at least some sort of a gung-ho when they face Atalanta, because they got nothing to lose. The Greek league is already sorted. They're the favorites to win the Greek Cup. Just go for it. Just, leave it all out there and whatever happens. Yes, I was going to say it as well.
I don't even know.
I was thinking about the exact same thing.
Andreas Eladara, the comment of the year so far. Labro, damn, just realized you're a Daniel LaRusso lookalike.
Is that a compliment?
Andreas Eladara's just been watching Cobra Kai, man. He just came on now and he's like, oh, shit.
Oh, no. I'm gonna Google this. Hopefully it's good. I don't know.
No, man, it is good. It is good.
Fantastic.
It is good.
Fantastic. Yeah, there's a little bit of a resemblance there. There is a little bit of a resemblance. You know what, Labro? We said we'd make this a shorter episode today, so we were actually going to close things when you were joining, but nice little cameo.
Oh my God. It's
closing
literally
up-
the Karate Kid. Daniel is the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Daniel
Oh my
LaRusso.
God.
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. I'll take it, I guess. Like, doesn't he beat the kid up at the end? I don't know.
He beats
Yeah,
many kids at the
Daniel
end.
LaRusso won karate competitions, you know, he's a winner.
Damn
I haven't
right,
seen
okay.
Cobra Kai new season, so I don't know if he wins, but
No
Anyway.
spoilers.
no spoilers. I haven't seen it yet. I'm probably going to go downstairs and start watching it now, actually. I want to wrap up with this because we were talking about, wrapping up transfers. We put out a nice post on our Instagram and on our social media about players that are their contracts are expiring in 6 months. I'm going to give you a few names. Thomas Strakosha, goalkeeper. His father played in Greece.
For Olympiacos.
Cesar Aspilicueta. Did Strakosha play for Olympiacos
Yeah,
as well?
Fotis played for
I think-
Olympiacos, yeah.
Wasn't he the goalkeeper trainer as well?
He still is for the under something team, no?
For
No.
Olympiacos, I'm not too sure if he's there right now, but I think he was in the past. But yeah, he was a starter for Olympiacos. Successful as well.
Yeah. Aspilicueta, you mentioned earlier, his contract's running up, but that's probably a
He's
difficult
going to
one.
Barcelona. He's going to Barcelona if he leaves.
You reckon?
Yeah, that's he's gonna go to Barca if it doesn't work out. With
How do
Chelsea.
they
But he
have
wants to
money?
stay.
Like, where are they getting this money to, like, what? Aren't they broke? What happened here?
I think a lot is the answer. Because now they want to sign Haaland. So
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I want to sign Haaland too. Does it mean it's gonna happen? No. Okay.
Remy Cabella. you
That's the one
mentioned
I
him,
want.
Labro.
That is like
He-
such an Olympiacos signing where it's like Remy Cabella out of nowhere, best player. I'm in.
I think, this is also a player that's had 2 ACL injuries, if I'm not mistaken. He had
No
an
problem.
ACL injury. He had an ACL injury when he played against us, and he had one earlier in his career.
I remember he got injured versus. He's only 31 years old. Jesus, the guy's aged poorly. Looks like he's like 40. Damn.
He's a fantastic player, though.
Yeah. I love the guy. You know, I'd love him in, but still, damn, wow.
There's
thought he was
also another
older than
player that we
Pablo
have on
now.
our squad. There's another player that we have on our squad that's had 2 ACL injuries that plays in the same position.
Oh shit. Yes. Wow. True.
Yeah. Christian Pavon is another name.
Oh hell
His
yeah.
contract expires in 6 months.
Yeah, I'm in. I don't think
And who
so,
else?
but okay.
Kyle Larin, Besiktas, Mohamed
Oh.
El Neni, Henrik Mkhitaryan. Those are a couple of names, guys.
They
Kyle
wanted to sign
Larin?
Mkhitaryan last summer,
Yeah, we
Kyle
were close.
Larin?
and they were
No
close
way.
to signing him. They were close
Mkhitaryan's
to signing
salary is
Mkhitaryan.
like. So we can afford that? Can we afford that? I
He's
don't
going
know.
to be a free agent, bro. He's going to be a free agent, and he's not exactly, ever since Man United, he's not exactly, in the same position he was when he was leaving Borussia Dortmund,
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, some interesting names. Kyle Larin, I think, is the one who's been linked. I think he could be the one. Also, Christian Teo has been linked in the past. No, am I making that
Yeah.
up? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nearly every summer.
Him and Gerard Deulofeu, he's the one who's been linked as well. The other Spanish winger. Yeah, I would take
Yeah.
both of them. I don't know.
In my opinion, what do you
And
guys think about Steven Zuber to join?
I heard of that. What do they not have a buy option? I thought they were going to just buy him
2
at the end of the
million.
season.
Are they?
Surely.
Yeah, they have an option.
They have the option, but they're not going to buy him automatically, is what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, AEK Athens versus Olympiacos, Champions League football, Europa League, worst case scenario, win titles.
Do we know
Yeah.
if there's an expiry date on that option?
I have no idea.
No.
We'd have to ask the Frankfurt people. I think Gotti still talks to them. He can
Yeah.
talk to them.
Dimitris Christidis, we're talking about Zuber, the Ajax winger. I mean,
Zuber.
to be honest, I don't watch the other teams in the Greek league.
Am I the only one who watches the other teams? I feel like I'm the only loser who watches other teams in the Greek Super League. Like the only guy like on Sunday night 7:30 with like Panathinaikos Aris with a beer. Like, yeah, that's good football right here. Like, am I the only one? I think I'm the only one. I'm the only one.
No, we're man. You know, good for you.
I may do a bit of some zapping, but I won't sit down for a long time.
But now with fans, like half of the reason to watch those games is for fans. So like, am I going to watch now with like 20 people and their mom in the stadium? Probably not. So I don't know.
I think I might either I'm too spoiled from covering all this Premier League football, or you know, Greek football is so slow. I just can't. It's so hard to keep up sometimes.
Yeah,
I'll only watch a big game as well. I'm not going to watch, you know. But anyways, you know, it is what it is.
No, I agree. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. And I guess we're gonna wrap up as well. We'll be back this weekend probably. So I just want to say, I don't know if you guys have seen, but our subscriber count is almost near 1,000. Everyone watching live, clap your hands. Like, why don't we make a push to 1,000, guys? We're about to hit, I think we're at 900 or something right now, maybe just a little before 900. So why don't we make a push for 1,000? Can we do that by the end of January, everyone? Can we get subscribers? And I know YouTubers usually do this. I know 50% of you watching right now are not subscribed. So if you hit a subscribe right now, you would help the channel massively. So anyway, that's what I'm doing right now.
Why should they subscribe, Labra?
They should subscribe for excellent content, for impromptu drop-in moments, for interviews hopefully to come. Things are cooking, hopefully. For Olympiacos winning the league again. No, that happens every year. But anyway, for great content and new content coming. We're cooking something up in the lab. We'll see what that is, but yeah, things are cooking.
I promise we will have a Olympiacos player from this roster, from this year's roster. We will have at least one player coming on the show this year, guys. So
yeah, I agree. That's going to happen this year.
That is going to happen this year. Thank you so much, everyone who's been supporting us up until now. Thanks for staying with us this time. I'm Costa. Labro joined us. Costa Lianos been with us today. Thanks for joining, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. See you next time.
You just listened to an episode of the Gate 7 International Podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiacos fans from Brussels to Tokyo, from Toronto to Geneva. We are 4 Olympiacos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you will never miss out on the latest updates and stories of the team you love. If you liked what you heard, make sure to follow us on social media at Gate7INTL. Give us a subscribe on YouTube or even leave a review on all our podcast channels. Until next time, this is our team, our city and our story. Θρύλος είσαι, στο μυαλό κάτι μαγικό.